Hey guys, I just wanted to show you a little bit more about this using the oil and diesel mix. So I've have used motor oil, and I did the shed. I did another video a couple months ago about this shed. I brushed, I did not spray, I brushed this shed with diesel fuel, 50-50 mixed with used motor oil. Now, you can see the color. Okay, the doors are inside of the doors are open. Those are uncoated. Let me come over to this side here and show you where the sun's hitting the uncoated door, where the rag's hanging there, and then you see the wall, and the wall was brushed on, and we brushed it, pretty heavy. Now, I don't know, some oil may be a little bit dirtier than others, but I don't use oil out of a diesel engine because it's too dark, too black. Now let me show you something. These we just brushed. These are 1x4s. We're going to use these for window trim. So we just brushed these about an hour ago. So the contrast in darkness, let me see, let me get where you see the building has just a nice golden honey look to it. And you see these and you think, oh my God, this is too dark possibly for what you want. But now here's what I'll tell you. This same wood from the same mill, my wife and I sat on these horses and we brushed just like this. It was probably about a month ago. Let me come up here. Okay, so you see these 2x6s up here? They're sitting on untreated wood. Look at how much that sucked in. They don't look like they've even been oiled. And that's how, one coat, how much it draws in. And those were done just like this wood out here. Just given time. Those have been up there, like I said, for, I don't remember when we did it, honestly, maybe 2 months ago. Now, this is my wood shed I built, and some of that's store-bought wood and some of that's rough cut. The planks on the side are rough cut. The ceiling or roof is made out of rough cut. The frame's made out of pressure treated 2x4s, and those are that's reclaimed wood. I had a little porch I had made out of pressure treated 2x6s and deck board. They were stained with store-bought cedar stain, and so was that piece is store-bought pressure treated stain. But anyways, I sprayed this stuff with a Wagner 110 volt power sprayer. I did spray them twice. I sprayed them heavy, and this was just done, I think, a week ago. Now you can see some of the areas where it's really starting to suck in after a week. You can see it lightening up there. Contrast, there's my building that was all hand brushed. This was sprayed. This was, I'm gonna think this was 3 months ago now. So it sat out all summer and sucked in. This is, I believe, 1 week. I don't think it's been 2 weeks, but just trying to give you an idea what it looks like. Now, some of this wood was really old, was sitting out and turning dark, and you can see how black that is. Some of the wood is newer wood. This is all actually newer. This stuff is all older wood. That's about a year old. This stuff's just a couple months old. So that black stuff is just black from age sitting out. Now what I want to show you is while I was spraying and I was seeing how dark all this stuff was turning, right? And I was thinking, my gosh, like, what's that look like here? So I sprayed the bottom about 1.5 feet here. You see that? And then I also sprayed up to just past that knot, up to about here. So that I just did that when I was doing that woodshed behind me, just to give it a second hit. So that was, I believe, a week ago, possibly 2. But you can see, let me come up here and show you how dry this is. So you can see the grain of the wood, like it sucked in. So this whole building could take another coat, because this is the stuff that was done months ago. And like you can see there, it sucked in so much. You can see, almost looks like I missed it, but trust me, I didn't. I had oil flowing down. Oh, and I lied. I didn't brush this. I said brushed. I used a garden sprayer on this. That's right. Because we've been going back and forth using brushes, garden sprayers, Wagner sprayers. But the other interesting thing is, I mean, we put it on super heavy, right? And when you watch it sitting out in the sun like this, when it's real heavy, if you just sit there and you look at it, you can see it bubbling. Not sure if this is going to work on camera. I'm trying to get the glare. Okay, there. I'm going to try to hold that glare on that board right there. Hopefully you can see it, but I believe what you're seeing there is as the oil wicks in, I believe the air is escaping. So capillary action is pulling the oil down into the pores. Yeah, like some of this stuff's really like real active with the bubbling. Can you see it? I don't know. You have to let me know in the comments if you could actually see that. But you leave this stuff sit, give it a week or so, and it'll be almost dry to the touch. You give it, like, this is 3 months. This is, I mean, this is our, you know, for drying, like, you know, dish towels and stuff like that. I mean, I'm gonna, like, this is 3 months, and I mean, I could take this, and there's nothing. Like, this is dry as anything. There's no oil, there's no nothing. It does take a little bit of time. I mean, you know, you do have to deal with the odor, and you do have to deal with the wetness at first, but when you're done, you spend very little money. And again, this is 50/50 diesel oil. This is straight oil. Up there, the 2x6s, those were 50/50. That's straight oil. Now, what I'm wondering is the straight oil, sorry, focusing on my hand, the straight oil not mixed, is that, and are these going to lighten up to a golden brown like the off-road diesel 50% with oil, or are these going to forever stay darker, which I'm fine with. That's fine. They're going to end up, I have trim up there on the building, and on that trim's just, you know, it's 40 years old and it's taken abuse. Let me show you. I did these 2 windows on the back because they were the 2 worst. So my wife and I ripped this trim off of these windows. I'm gonna fall here. And trim that window and trim that window. Next, I'm gonna get up there and do those 2 in the second floor. But I'll show you another thing I did was, you can see the top of the 2x6s right there. I put a 30-degree angle cut on there so that any moisture that drips down on them, instead of landing on a flat surface and possibly going back against the T111, it should hit that 30-degree angle and roll outwards. Can you see what I'm showing you there? That nice cut on there. I did the same on this one here. So they're gonna all get that 30-degree angle cut to help roll moisture out. And then I caulked the living daylights out of the casing to, you know, the casing to trim, and then trim the T111. I tried to make sure that I wasn't trying to save caulking, to make sure that it's all sealed, because this back of this building's rotten pretty bad, like especially if you go under this door. You see I have a 2x4 wedged in there trying to hold that threshold up, but there's a lot of rot issues. We're going to jack the building up next week, actually. And that whole main frame, that's 3 2x8s, 10 footers to the middle of the building, and then 10 footers to the end. There's 6 total. We're going to jack this building up with hydraulic jacks, and we're going to rip all 6 of those 2x8s out and put new ones in, and then lower the building back down. So that'll be my next week project. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys, you know, now that more time has passed and people have asked, is there a smell? There is zero smell. At, you know, at this point, at like 3 months on the shed, there is zero odor left in the shed. There has not really been an odor for probably a month and a half. There is no wetness. If I take a cup of water and I throw it at the building, it beads and runs right off the building as if like a fresh waxed car. So the oil is doing its job. It's filled the pores up, and the water, any water that does hit the building, it doesn't want the building. It just, you know, it doesn't want to go into the building. It just goes down to the ground and away. So next year, I was thinking about doing it again this year. I think I'm going to wait, skip it. I'm going to go next year, and I'm going to spray the entire building again. Probably for fear of darkening it, because I like this honey color on this building. I'm probably going to do the same 50/50 mix again. I really don't want the building to go dark unless I see that these lighten up like the other would. If I do, then I might just go straight oil and not spend money on diesel fuel, because I have pretty much limitless used motor oil. But so far, the only negative side, the only downfall is the initial wetness and the initial odor. Once you suffer that month and a half, that's all gone behind you. and you have a very attractive look. Appears to be well protected. Like I said, you can test it by throwing water on it, and there's no negative to this. So yeah, go ahead. If you've been thinking about trying it and you have rough cut lumber available to you, go for it. I will tell you that it doesn't work as well on smooth planed store-bought wood. That smooth finish just doesn't like draw it in real fast and deep like it does for the rough cut stuff. The rough cut stuff really, it's very happy to absorb that oil. So I suggest anytime you're using rough cut, consider this as your option. And we're doing these ahead of time. We're going to let these soak in, dry out for a week or two. And that way, when I rip my window trim off, all I'm going to have to do is my cut zones on my, my edge cuts as I cut for making my trim. I'll just have to brush touch that end and then put them up. And then I'll let them sit for probably about a month before I caulk them. That way the caulking will stick to it and be good to go. And hopefully this will last a lot longer than the store-bought stuff that was up there. And as you all know, once you put used motor oil on your wood, termites and wood-eating ants and any insects that want to attack your wood, they no longer have an interest in it. They'll come over, they'll give it a sniff or two, maybe take a lick on it, and then the termites will move to your neighbors and eat their stuff. So not only is it cheaper, it's a better product because your stains and stuff don't protect you from termites and ants and things like that. So, all right, just an update. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment, let me know. And let me know if you were able to see that bubbling on that oil, because that's cool. Like sitting here, you watch the surface, you just see little bubbles all over the place just dancing around. So let me know if you were able to see that when I was up close. Thanks, guys.